Songs about rainbows and what's on the other side. Rainbows are visions, they're only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it, but I know they're wrong. Wait and see. Hey, Arthur's here. Peter's in. Nicholas Renville. Tourniquet. Cobalt Steel. Isaac. Colton. Skook. Nasty Shiduk. Okay. Jonavan. Shadows is here. Prototype Studios. I'm getting behind. I saw Jeff swing by. Jalen. Natty G99. Shaquille Oatmeal. Johnny Bravocado's back. Carmelo Carlisle. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Laughlin's in. Isaac Ian. Epic and awesome animations. That's a good name. Right to the point. Hey, Brian. You were talking to hot babes online, Brian? You shouldn't listen. I like having all you guys here. Thoroughly enjoy it every day, but you should not. You should not remove yourself from talking to hot babes online to come talk to this. Nor should anyone. I never encourage anyone to leave their particular most desired place of a porn reception either. Watching Naruto, Mr. Swiss Roll. Yeah, Naruto was great. It really was a great story. I mean, especially now when I think back on it, I think I'm able to put it in a better perspective now than when I had first completed it, because I had like next to no experience with anime at the time, and now having seen a lot of anime, it just ingrains it even more so as to just what a quality story it was. Yeah, I see. Somebody went by saying that. I was just looking at that. Shaquille Oatmeal said Bernie dropped out. Yeah, I see that. It was pretty much inevitable. Has been inevitable for some time. I think it would have been better of him to drop out before yesterday, since they refused to postpone the Wisconsin primaries. It would have kept a lot of people home. Prasanna says, I am in bed right now, hopefully by choice and not due to not feeling well or something. Yeah, happy hump day. That's right, Poppy. Love little hump day. I don't know why. It's not like I'm going to get to do anything, but I like calling it that. So who do you pick? Now you're going to pick for your waifu. Well, we did the, Rip Foxy, we did the top 5 waifu the other day. And not surprisingly, Sarah's finished on top. Finished on top. I wish. Oh, it's 1 a.m. for you, Persona. Duh. I didn't think. Because, there is no world other than that which is right outside my window. It never dawned on me that you're in an entirely different time zone. It had to be something else. Yeah, I'm not that sharp. Hasn't been hump day for a bit, Con says. That's me. Robert says, for me, going out at... Oh, we're talking about the title, so this is what Robert's relating back to. The title of the stream, of course, we're talking about favorite childhood memories. For me, going out at 6 in the morning in sunny summer to play basketball with me and to look into clouds like Shikamaru to relax. I think we all did... Well, especially, I guess it depends on where you were brought up. I was going to say, I think we all did that. But again, I think your surroundings when you were brought up has something to do with it. As far as the just laying on your back looking up at the clouds, more difficult to do if you were raised in an urban situation. But of course, I lived way out in the country. So yeah, that was a commonplace thing. When I was out playing baseball, doing whatever, you would take breaks and you just sit there and look at the clouds and shit. Yeah, I have fond memories of that. Let's see, when my sister hit me with a metal pan, Jonathan says. Important question, did you deserve it? Because, come on, let's be honest. Every once in a while, all of us deserve to get hit with a metal pan here or there. Dragon Ball was my childhood, Paul Harrison says. Yeah, I can imagine for a lot of you guys, yeah, that'd be right in the... When it was created, anyway, would be right in the wheelhouse for a bunch of you knowing, what the average age is here at the channel. Doing good, sports fan. For me, it's hang out with my family, like fishing and just hang out. That's cool, Mr. Fireball. I was never big. I shouldn't say big. I used to fish quite a bit, but we had where we lived. We rented a big old. The house we lived in actually had 14 bedrooms. It used to be a not actually a hotel, but I don't even know what the terminology is uh, for how it served its purposes. Um, like it wasn't a rest home either. But anyway, it was a monstrous house. Most of those rooms were not used. We had it blocked off, but it was a big old house on 266 acres. And the doctor who owned it, we rented it from this doctor, built had a pond dug up on the other side of the road from the house, up on top of a hill. And so we had our own private little fishing hole there. It was pretty cool. Being in bed forcibly can be good too, depending. True, Arthur. True. That's true. I guess everything is determined by circumstance. You are correct. Gundam Seed Persona? That one, I don't know that one. That one I don't think I've heard of. Wolverine saw a snake while walking your doggo. I don't see them much anymore because again we live in a tiny little village. But again, when I was growing up, we were out in the country. Snakes were mostly all just little garter snakes, but they were everywhere. Sportsman says, I had blood packs from Halloween and poured them all over my shirt and a kitchen knife. We ran to my mom and my sister fake cried saying, I'm sorry, best moment ever, she freaked. That's good. Was it a dangerous snake? Oh, then I would leave. Yeah, Wolverine, we didn't have, where I grew up, we didn't have really any that were of any danger. They're all just random garden variety snakes. Lachlan says, my favorite childhood memory would have to be the day my parents let me out of the basement for the first time. You got the basement? I had to stay under the sink. I was a fat kid. It was cramped under there. You were living in luxury if you got basement, Lachlan. Jeez. um, I had this is totally off topic, but I always like getting feedback from you guys. I've been thinking about, and I don't know if I want to do it or not. First of all, well, let me do this in stages, asking you guys the questions. And the unfortunate thing about that is we're on a delay, obviously, so I have to wait for it to catch up. First of all, how many of you guys know who the character from Spazboy's comedy, know who Golden is? So I'm going to let that catch up. Just tell me if you do or don't know who it is, because that'll lead into what I'm talking about next. That's actually kind of sad. Thomas says, my favorite childhood memory would be not being in a hospital. That sucked. There's nothing worse than whatever the ailment or injury was of kids having to spend extensive amounts of time in the hospital. That's just sad to me. No. A sexy old man. Johnny knows who it is. Kinda. I don't. No, I don't know. So it might not. A lot of you guys. Oh, let me explain to you. I know, Cesaro. You know. Yep. I know Jack Queen. I know you. You know. Milag. I love golden showers. I know Milag knows. I was just curious how many of you knew because it involves him. To give you a little background. Golden. You guys who know Golden, tell me if I'm describing him fairly accurately. Golden is a character around here who, for some reason, is always shirtless, is completely deranged, psychotic, over-the-top sociopathic, and he likes to tell the stories of his bizarre life. The stories are so bizarre that Susan really didn't like them. And so he stopped getting a place on YouTube because, again, they didn't cross over the border to where they were able to make a strong case of violating guidelines, except in one instance, and I still don't think they made a strong case. They overstepped. But Golden here would run the risk of getting every video demonetized, and it's just a pain in the ass to have to constantly appeal to have your videos remonetized again. So Golden kind of got axed from YouTube. Does that pretty much give you an idea? You guys know Golden. Does that give you an idea of what we're dealing with here? Golden shower is Golden's finisher. Golden is 2 words, Jack Queen says, Thundercock. Oh, Ripped Foxy had a dream where me and Rias were together. Oh, I wouldn't want to wake up from that. That pretty much covers it, Duke. Susan didn't like him. Shocker, yeah. I could let me see. Let me see if I can find some. Let me find one of Golden's stories here. We'll put it in the stream. If Susan comes and demonetizes the stream, I'll suck it up and miss the 92 cents. Let me see if I can remember off the top of my head where I have some. What's a okay? I'll let now you guys. Because you guys' memories are better than mine. I'll see if I can find it. You guys that know who Golden is and have heard Golden's tales, so on and so forth, do you have one that you think is the best? If I'm going to show the gang just one, what one? Anybody have a good idea? I'll see if I can find it. Fucking Susan. Yeah, I know. Sorry. So, Susan is very afraid of Golden, and she should be. You got to give her that, Johnny. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not an oatmeal eater, Shaquille. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I never now if you send oatmeal though, we will gladly take it. You guys know my daughter's multiply disabled. She loves oatmeal. Oh man, she's like one of her cornerstones, so she will definitely eat it for me. Oh, Chuck E. Cheese? Oh yeah, we took all the when the kids were younger, we used to take all the kids there all the time. Brax went there a bunch when he was little, my grandkids did. Don't stop watching porn ever, Ocho. No, I love having you here, but finish that first. The Greatest Birthday? Jeez, is that terrible, Jack Queen? I kind of remember that one. Let me see if I can. Jack Queen said it first, so let me see if I can find. Oh man, I don't remember that one. Shit. Great. I kind of remember that. Oh yeah, I do have it. I do have it right here. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Come on, make it smaller. Make it smaller. That's not what she said. She said just the opposite. I'm away from the chat for just a second. I'm going to see if I can get this video to post. It's weird. See if it'll find it. Add source. Favorite childhood memory was punching Brax. Okay, so it's not recognizing it there. Let me see if it exploit. Oh. All right, let me see if I can get this XSplit to grab the video. It may not because for some reason it has trouble locating. All right, so there. Oh wait, it does have it. Okay, hold on. Let's see if it'll keep it, and I'll play this for you guys. Now let me see here. Pull this up. Okay, here we go. This way I can hear it too, because I don't remember. This is Golden for those of you who didn't know who he was, what the deal is. This is one of his.
On my 10th birthday, my parents gave me $10 and sent me down to the corner store to buy cupcakes for my celebration.
Hold on, let me try it again. It always drops this. There it goes. All right, we got it again.
When I came back home, my parents had moved. At first, I thought it might be a misunderstanding.
Sure, it could be a misunderstanding.
But then I found a note.
What did the note say?
The note said, "We've moved. Don't try to find us."
Sucks. Little.
That pretty much took any ambiguity out of the situation.
Made it clear. You like that. You like your parents to be upfront with you.
Of course.
You don't want them bullshitting you.
I should have been suspicious when my parents told me to carry the TV downstairs and put it in the back seat of the car on my way to the store.
Should have been a tip, yeah. Should have tipped you off a little bit.
At first, I was a little bit upset about all this. But then I realized I get to eat all the cupcakes.
Total victory. Total victory.
Greatest birthday ever. buttercream frosting
I completely agree.
is
You gotta side with
way,
him here.
way superior to the love of a parent.
That seems totally normal to me. I don't know why Susan didn't like him. I really don't. Okay, let me get back to the chat now. I see that's I think that's a quality story. I don't understand what the issues with it were. You know, why is that a problem? And that's so now you guys have an idea of who Member Barry says, I was watching Golden when I was 12. Good memories. Good times. Good times. Duke says, seems normal. So you guys seems family friendly enough, biggest screen. It says, that's what I'm saying. You know, he's talking about family and his relationship with his family. So why was Susan being such a bitch about him? You know? But, okay, now that you guys know who he is. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Happy birthday. Wolverine, I forgot you said today was your birthday. Turned 27 today. I drink rum, but sobriety. Goddamn sobriety. Happy birthday, pal. Arthur, please read my next post, please. Okay. So now that you guys have experienced Golden, lucky you, I will tell you what I've been thinking about. See what you guys think of it. It's just something I'm tossing around. I don't know if it's going to be a done deal. That could be it, Jack Queen. He says Susan didn't like his sad childhood. Maybe it wasn't her being a bitch. Maybe she was just, you know, she felt it was just too sad a tale to allow people to see. She didn't want them to, you know, bring their days down. Arthur says, my favorite memories were all fantasies, almost like moving artwork. There's nothing wrong with that. My favorite one that makes me happy in a dark time is hey, I've always been a big believer in having an active imagination. I think it's great escapism. A golden sunset and an open plain with a warm breeze and a cherub with bright brown hair smiles at me with the sunlight glowing through her hair like a halo of golden light. Sounds cool to me. It's genuinely got me through dark time. No, there's a lot to be said for that type of visualization, Arthur. And, you know, having been involved with hypnosis as long as I have is very similar. That type of English, not today. That type of visualization is very similar to how hypnosis can be and is used all the time. No, I get that. So anyway, so the idea, Stormstar, let me read one more. Favorite memory is playing with toys, not being judged for it like I am now. Hey, you know what, Stormstar? And I shit you guys not. And I, of course, when you get as old as me, you stop giving a fuck. Anyway, it's like now, if I see a gorgeous woman, she's got a low cut top or something like that. When you're younger, I imagine most of you guys, and when I was younger, you try and be discreet. You know, you try and side eye or something. I don't have any fucking dignity or self respect anymore. I'm just like, oh. So the same thing goes with that. I like toys. There's a lot of cool toys I might still want to play with. So I go down the toy aisle of any store all the time. People don't like it. Too fucking bad. Toys are interesting to me. There's a good chance I might want to buy one and play with it. Sound like an Undertaker Kane promo. Yeah, Jurassic. But anyway, what I was, you do too, Lex? I'm being genuine about that. I mean, I make jokes about things all the time, but I do. Brax will tell you the same thing. Brax, what? When we go to the store, do we always hit the toy aisle?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, if people think that's weird or that's too immature, too fucking bad. We like toys. Jonathan does it too. I see it. We're not the only one. What kind of toys? Cesaro says. Well, that's a different aisle in a different store. Large toys, spiky toys, light up toys, black toys. Yeah, Sheriff Shit Split. I like that. Sheriff. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to say that today. Words are not my friend today. Sheriff Shit Spitter says I play with toys, no shame. Yeah, toys are cool, especially now. You got to remember, guys. When I grew up, toys sucked. High tech was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love that game still. But that was high tech. The toys that are made now are just fucking fantastic. Shit. Brack's my favorite toy. Wolverine says, you too, Poppy? Yeah. Yeah, sex toys too. But I mean even outside of my dalliances into the sex toy aisles, well, of different stores. But if I go into a Walmart or Target or whatever, I don't go shopping around without going down the toy aisle. I like figurines too. Well, as you can see, I like, I've gotten so into anime. I've always been a sports nut, But with them, I collected cards, trading cards. I never got into the figures, but with the anime characters, I like the figures. I'd like to start a collection. It's just it gets. You guys know you're anime fans too. It gets pricey. I'd like to collect along with the pops. I'd like to collect some of the nicer quality artwork pieces of certain characters. But before I do that, I need to reshape this room and get a better place to display them. I don't want to buy nice stuff and not really, this display just ain't working for me. But again, I'm so limited what I can do in here because of this old house we live in and the lack of electrical plugs. I could run some external wire and just put the plastic caps over it, I guess, along the wall. Yeah, I could do that, like run it over into here and put an outlet. Yeah, I could do that. Um, Same, I like going down and see what new wrestling toys they have. Yeah, that's what I mean, Devin. I'm glad you got. Well, it's not surprising here. You know, the our little community here, people find one another and enjoy hanging out with one another for reasons, and it's typically shared interests. So I guess I'm not surprised. It's comforting to know that as many of you still enjoy it too. But yeah, I go down the toy aisles all the time, and yes, they do have cool toys. Yeah, and I always look at it with my history in wrestling. Of course, I got to look at. I don't collect this stuff, but you got to check out which cool wrestling toys are out. More than the figures for me, I like when they come out with the new belts and stuff. What? Oh, hold on, I saw somebody. Shit, I was reading somebody's story on the toy aisle and I missed it. What? It dropped down before it. Oh, here we go. Duke says, my brother and dad got kicked out of Walmart for going to the toy part of the store and start riding on their scooters. My favorite childhood memory, Lick says, was when I broke my arm when I was 4, then again when I was 6. Oh, shit. Same arm? Jesus. You got one of Zoro's swords? Wolverine? Now that I would like. That would be cool. That's something I would collect. Collect those buff action figures. Well, I haven't started yet though, Johnny, but I would. Some of the really quality artwork ones, again, but not until, again, plus there's the price, but not until I have a better place to display them here. I was a little disappointed. You guys know how much I love Disney, and I love I know the name of it and it won't come to me. That's a big surprise. The name of, I love the store in Japan, the Japan section of Epcot. But the last time I was in there, because they're always changing the stock they have, they had cut back some on the anime shit they have. That kind of disappointed me. I'm hoping that'll change direction again and they'll go back to more of it. Sauce says, I'm high, haha. P.S. I like ass. That's good. Oh, do you, Peter? Says he collects swords like ones from Lord of the Rings. That's cool. Rax has said in the past that he'd like to start collecting swords. Morgan says, favorite childhood memory is playing tag with my group of friends in a 30-story apartment building we lived in. Wow. That would actually be some fun tag. Yeah, because using the stairwells, the elevators, yeah. That's cool, Morgan, because that's obviously entirely different from my experience growing up, because again, we lived in the country, so it was just the opposite. When we played tag, it was because you had a couple hundred acres of land to run around on. So it is cool how everybody's experiences with the same games, something like tag, are completely different. Jesus Christ. Wholesome Tooth Tracker says, I got a lap dance at the age of 6. I did not, but I can guarantee you if I had, that would be on my most favorite childhood memories list. Saw says, how do you feel about the stigma against drug use? Well, so you'd have to be more experienced. That would all depend on what drugs. Like pot smoking, it's not for me. It's not my thing. Do I care if people smoke pot? No. I don't care if they legalize it. The only thing I ask if they legalize it is, I think this is true with anything, not just pot. If you're going to make anything legal that can somehow adversely affect other people, then you have to make the punishments for them adequate. So in other words, if people are going to smoke pot, that's great. If you're going to get buzzed out of your mind and go driving and the lack of reaction speed causes you to kill somebody else with your vehicle, same as with alcohol, I think the punishments need to be severe. But outside of that addendum, I don't have a problem with it. High Rise says, my favorite memory is spending my 10th birthday with my sister when she took me out for the weekend off from university before she died. Oh, man, that's sad. No, I mean, it's great that you have that memory of her, but I didn't expect that the story to go that way at the end. Oh, man. Well, hey, the whole thing is all of life, I believe, the most basic component of life, or if people say, why are we here, is to make memories. Because that's the one thing, except in my case, you get to take with you forever. But it's your keeper from this experience. So at least you got to have that cool memory, and I'm sure many other cool memories. That's sad to have lost a sibling. Doom says, my favorite childhood was tag and guns and robbers. Man, I miss those days. So I had to move to Texas. Yeah, we used to play cops and robbers. We were playing guns all the time, cowboys and Indians, all that stuff. All that stuff. Oh, and what I was starting to tell you guys, I completely got sidetracked. I'm thinking of maybe doing an episodic thing about the story of Golden. And it's just something I'm tossing around, but you would learn where he came from, why he is what he is, and then if it went well, if people liked it, this story would move on to, that's where we would incorporate more over at the Goosh, more interactive stuff where people tell their stories about personal interactions they've had with Golden, and Golden defends himself against these stories or admits to those stories, whichever the case may be. I don't know. I don't know if you guys would find that interesting or not, but I've been thinking about doing that. He came from the womb of a very unfortunate woman. I missed what that was about, Lex. Let's see. Let Yagami says, yeah, I was just reading about that asteroid. Asteroid date is 29th April, which will probably safely pass by. Oh, yeah, and where it is now, like, they understand its path. It's going to be, I forgot, I just read how many million miles away from Earth, but yeah, it's not going to affect us at all. Flame Enforcer said, and I was about to read, there it is, I'm the type who only remembers bad shit, so I try not to think about it too much. Well, that's sad. That's too bad. That's too bad. I certainly, excuse me, did not have some of the tragedy and rough times in my childhood, or to the extent that many of you have described to me. I mean, I had my tough moments, I think, like anybody else, but not to the degree that many of you have had to deal with. Let's see here. My favorite childhood memory, Jack Queen says, is when the priest would take me aside and tell me I was his favorite, and he would give me candy and invite me to his house for movies. And see, that's what. See, Jack. Now I used to get pissed off at kids like you, because my mom made me be an altar boy because she was Catholic growing up, and I never got hit on at all. My friends did. I mean, that's pretty bad. When even you're such a dopey looking kid that even the priest won't hit on you. Now, see, Jack, that story just made me jealous. That's all that did. Ain't fucking right. I was cute. My mom used to dress me up in a little sailor suit sometimes and shit. You'd think they would have loved it. God damn it. Ocho says, what's your thoughts about the new PS5 controller DualSense? I don't really have any thoughts on it yet because I've only seen a picture of it. I haven't read up on it, so I don't really know what's involved in it. I saw what it looks like, but that's it. M says it's the face. Thanks, M. I already knew that, but you didn't need to hit me in the face with it. Super Mario World is your favorite? I liked the Mario games. I was never that into them. Mainly Kart. I just absolutely love Mario Kart. And that's the one that Brex forgot to bring home with him from college. He brought his Switch home and he forgot Kart. We might have to buy another copy of it.
What?
We might have to buy another copy of Kart. I really want to play.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, M was saying the PS5 controller looks like an Xbox One and it makes me sad. Brax was not impressed when he saw the pictures of it. Yeah, he wasn't pleased about it. Same reason. I wonder how good the vibration will feel on my brown starfish, Johnny Bravocado says. Brian says, bike riding with my a-hole companions. Yeah, we did some of that. Not, again, I grew up in the country, so not out there, but my cousins lived in Schenectady, which is a decent-sized city, And so I would spend time in there, staying at my grandmother's house, so I could spend time with my cousins, and then we'd all go bike riding there. So yeah, I have some memories along those lines too. There and going up to the local park, the Central Park that we had there. I love these stickers. Thanks, Saw. What is this one? Oh, it's a. Is that a? Is that a shy pair? An embarrassed pair? I don't know. I'd never get embarrassed. I don't know. Oh, Brian says we rode bikes in the country. We were stupid. It's not even necessarily stupid. I just didn't have anybody to ride with there. It was so far in between houses and stuff, and there were no other kids around, even in those houses. Well, there was one. I had one friend from school, but he was a substantial distance away. But that's the only reason I didn't. Not even not because it was dumb or anything. Just didn't have anybody to ride with. But we had such a big. The place had so much land, the place that we used to rent, that I would sometimes, because I had a bike, I would even ride my bike. It had a big, and I mean huge circular driveway. It was almost like a racetrack. Everything, again, this is a huge plot of land. I used to do circles around there and pretend I was racing because I was simple. Ultra Luke says my favorite memory is playing with my friend who used to live next door to me. I wish there was a way to tell you're in the good old days before you left them. Yeah, no lie, Uncle Ultra Luke. I've tried over the past years to do that because you're right. A lot of times you're living in the good old days and you fail to realize it. And I did that when I was younger too. So now I've gotten to where I do try and slow everything up. A good example is all the anime. Watching all the anime, and while I was watching Hunter x Hunter, and now I'm watching One Piece, and all along those lines, I try and remember, and really, or I try and appreciate it for how much enjoyment it's giving me, because I know there's going to be a time down the road, and I would like to be doing this stuff with you guys until the day I die. I mean, I would enjoy that. But if that doesn't come out to be the case for whatever reason, YouTube goes under, Susan finally has had enough of me and just and eliminates the channel altogether, whatever the case may be, if this ever ends, I know I'm going to be looking back at this time so fondly that I try and really stop and appreciate it a lot right now. We should have a monthly Mario Kart gathering. I'd be okay with that, Arthur. I love kart. I'm not, you guys know my gaming skills. As Mario Kart goes, I'm not terrible. I certainly, don't get me wrong, I'm not dominant. I'm not going to be dominant in any video game, but I can hold my own. Mario Kart I'm okay on. Saw says, my favorite childhood memory is watching movies with my family. Now everything's changed. It is sad how things change. So that I've been through too. Some of the memories are just circumstance doesn't allow for those to go on. So those are the ones that I've especially I've gotten older, and when you're pushing 60 like I am, you've unfortunately lost a lot of people in your life. I've gotten to where I'm pretty good at just doing a decent job of making sure I keep those memories stored in my pocket so I can go to them whenever I want. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though. Lachlan says, sorry I have to go, Curtis. As I am British, the past few streams always coincide when I need to start cooking dinner for my family. No, I understand, pal. My mom and siblings. Hope the rest of the stream is great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you, Lachlan. And I hope you guys enjoy your dinner. I think I mentioned to you guys that I was shocked that just talked British and food. You know me. As soon as we go food, one of the last times we went to Disney, we went with Brax was with us, and a good buddy of his was with us too, Alex. And Alex had always wanted to try real British fish and chips because what we get here isn't the real shit. And of course, in Disney, it's all genuine. Wow, that was fucking good. And I'm not even necessarily a fish. I usually have to be really in the mood. Once in a while, I'll eat some fish, and I have to be in the mood for it. You guys know what the fuck you're doing with fish and chips, so because that shit I wouldn't need to just be in the mood for. Even talking about it's making me hungry. And now I don't know much of anything about British fare other than that, but god damn, that was good. Oof. Well, thanks, Blues. That was nice of you to say. M says, I don't have any favorite childhood memories. I did decorate sugar cookies every year around the holidays. Now I do it for money, so there's that. Oh, do you, M? Do you? I am so terrible at anything like that. Anything that requires any type of crafting ability, like you're talking about with, decorating cookies or something like that. I think it's one of the reasons why I am so easily awed by things of that nature, because I can't do it at all. That's kind of cool though, that you're good enough at it to make money with it. I'm good at eating cookies. Decorating them? No. Oh, they are. Feller says, speaking of Disney food, the turkey legs are amazing. That is an absolute fact. It is. I told you guys, it is amazing how the things that are important to you are so hard hitting. I'm telling you that the saddest, I mean, outside, don't get me wrong, outside of the fact that people are dying, that's a given. But the saddest thing that I see or experience that hits home with the effect that this coronavirus is having on the world is seeing those pictures and videos of Disney World closed. And I think that's why, because just what we're talking about, so many of my fond memories are tied up there, and that's the place that never closed. It was like New York City, you know, the city that never sleeps. Disney was never closed, and seeing it, that really hits hard for me. Hits how dramatic what's happened is. Chris, have you seen Batman animated series? No. Nicholas, the current one? No. No, or even any of the more current ones? No, I haven't. Maybe a little bit or piece here or there, but not with any continuity at all. Oh, Arthur says, I suppose experimenting with my cousin was a pretty good memory. I'm sure it was. Let's see. Jalen says, I animate really often and plan on pursuing in that for a career. Cool. I might even end up working with, I'm sure you mean Toei, right? Toei Animation. You want to check out some of my work, look at my channel. That's cool. I wish I could animate. I've told you guys many times, I've been a fan of animation, of cartoons, of the comic strips, whatever the case may be, my whole life. An avid fan, and have zero. I mean, I have negative abilities when it comes to artwork. It's sad. It's really bad. Feller says, I remember in the fourth grade at recess, me and my buddies threw paper airplanes from the top of the playground at the teachers. They never knew where the fleet of kamikazes came from. That's pretty cool. Chrome says, my favorite memories are mostly games. Earliest memories Crash. I remember Crash Bandicoot and Mario and Luigi, plus Donkey Kong Country. Oh yeah, I remember Donkey Kong Country too. Those were not ones that I got heavily into, but I did have them and I did play them. And of course, my older son, he was a video game enthusiast too when he was still at home. So, you know, I had that generation of games that I played along with him, and then of course the generation of games that Brax and I have played as well. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country was cool. I didn't play it all that much, like I said, but it was a good game. I remember that one. Yoshi's Island. I remember that one, Shirokage, but I don't remember much about it. I mean, I remember that game being out, but I don't remember much about that one. I also miss beating the shit out of my cousins every holiday, Brian says, in my grandma's basement, because in the world's a Popo Bridge, because fuck them. Come on. Really, Dan? He says, my favorite childhood memory is when I was sleepwalking naked in my neighborhood. I had a cousin who was a major sleepwalker. And as far as I know, he never did that, but it would be so creepy because, you know, in the middle of the night, all of a sudden he'd just be up and about. And my cousin Donnie, and I can remember one time when I'd be staying at my grandmother's, and his family lived upstairs. The one day he had been asleep, he gets up, sleepwalking, comes down the stairs, goes into the kitchen, starts going through the cupboards, and my grandma's down there, and Graham goes, Donnie, what are you doing? And he just goes, and she goes, Donnie, what are you doing? What do you want? I'll get it for you. What do you want? Gives one of these. She goes, Donnie, go back to bed. And off he goes back to bed. And that would be it. It was creepy as fuck. Johnny says, forgot to say that I missed the last two streams. Our base had us working our asses off sending supplies to New York. Oh, I'm sure. And I got promoted. You got promoted yesterday. Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Saul, the new PS5 controller. I've seen the pictures, but I don't really know anything about it yet. I've just seen the pictures of it. I haven't read up on, you know, what the features are. M says, I do remember as a kid, my brother slept walk once and it freaked me out and I punched him. Yeah, my cousin Donnie was the only person I've known that I knew that would do it to extremes. Where he would be out and about in the house and doing his but the thing of it was you had to have some level of cognizance because he would go up and down the stairs, and those stairs in my grandmother's house, they were steep and they were curled. So you had to be paying attention, and he would do those stairs like nothing. I've heard stuff like that, PC gamers. What's really spooky is stories of people killing their wives or parents while sleepwalking. I gotta wonder how many of them are actually factual and how many of them are either embellished or people using it as an excuse only because of my familiarity with hypnosis and how close a hypnotic state resembles sleep. And I can tell you that even if you're the most somnambulistic person in the world, being in a hypnotic state is not going to give you permission to kill people unless you already have that type of thing in mind and would do it in your consciousness anyway. But I have heard those stories you're talking about. Nicholas says Donkey Kong 1981 AMD for Game Boy. Good old Game Boy games. It's just so amazing. I mean, it goes out saying, but how far we've come with when we talk about this stuff with video games and what they used to look like. Johnny says I used to sleepwalk and try to climb out the window. Oh shit! My parents ended up having to nail the window shut. Yeah. God damn. Yeah. Again, my cousin was the only one I knew that was that bad with it. Em's talking about her brother sleepwalking. Slept walking into my room and woke me up. Oh, I punched him and then went to get my mom because then he passed out. Jesus. Seasick Viking. Good name. Sleepwalking. I recall my brother trying to sleepwalk in a hotel room. My father intended to wake him up only for my mother stop him, suggesting he was trying to find the bathroom. That's weird. I've had some real vivid. I forgot what the terminology is for dreams that seem so real to you. They're lucid dreams. I've had some real lucid dreams, but never enough to get me, well, maybe just because I'm too lazy to get my fat ass up out of the bed. When I got into boxing, Yellow Flash says, was one time when me and my cousin were fighting and I knocked him out. Good times. Now he thinks boxing is getting in my mind too much and he doesn't talk to me. Yeah, I used to. Yeah, lucid dreams, Morgan. The term wouldn't come to me. That's funny because when I used to box, when I boxed amateur in California, I think I told you guys the guy that ran our gym, his name was Al Williams, tall, kind of thin black guy. Him and I were best of friends and used to beat the shit out of each other daily because we were two of the only heavyweights that went to the gym. Well, we had a few others, but we're hardcore regulars there, and so we would train with one another, and it was always a good matchup because I was just an absolute pounder, and he was a boxer. I mean, he was quick on his feet, had good hands. Just didn't have a lot of sting. I mean, he would punch you, but he didn't have a lot of sting in his punches, so it made for some interesting matchups. I did break his nose once. Wasn't entirely on purpose, but it was just one of those freak things. I mean, neither one of us believed. I don't believe you can spar. If anybody says, come on, let's spar and go 50%, tell them no. Because that's just how you get hurt. If you're going to spar, you put on your protective gear, but then you swing away because otherwise you're not getting anything out of it. So we would go at each other pretty good. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily try and kill each other. Like, if he came open for a big shot and I knew I could connect, I might not throw it. But when you did throw a punch, you were throwing it hard. And at one point, because I was always trying, because like I say, he was faster than me, so I was always trying to corner him. And I got him put into a corner, and I was laying on him, trying to hold him in there. And I threw a combination. I still remember I threw a hook, and he moved, and I went through an uppercut, and he ducked. So when he ducked, he basically headbutted my fist with his nose right as I was throwing an uppercut from the floor, and it was like, so that was like, I was like, sorry, Al. Till the end of time says my childhood memories is stealing Store's water gun. I used to love water guns. Oh, we've had so much fun with them over the years, and from my childhood, from my son's childhoods, I love water guns. Yes, I have taken a liver shot, Tiki. It's not fun. It hurts like a motherfucker. My favorite childhood memories are all the above. Let's see. Favorite memory going to Grandma Pa's and going up on the hill. Then we get back to grandma yelling to clean up, never get to relive it again, so I cherish it dearly. Absolutely, Matthew. That's what I say, that's the toughest thing. I'm telling you guys, for me, the toughest thing about getting older isn't the more common maladies. Of course, being somebody who's always been into athletics, I obviously can't do as much as I used to, not as strong as I used to be, although the strength is lasting to go, but certainly not nearly as quick. Don't have the reaction times, a lot more soreness, stiffness. Even if you don't have post-concussion, still memory issues. So there's a lot of shit that sucks about getting old. But most of it is stuff I take in stride. The worst part about it is, as you get older, is how many people you've lost along the way. Because that list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So I think that's the hardest part about aging. Stormstar says water fights will remain the best pastime of every childhood. Yeah, we had some great times. When I was a little kid, of course, we didn't, excuse me, have the great water guns that you guys have now, or even we had with Brax growing up, which fortunately I got to play with them then. But when I was a little kid, we didn't have those great super soakers and all that shit. Morgan says, I don't sleepwalk. I'm an aggressive sleeper. I kick and I've been known to elbow my hubby in the face. Ouch. If I'm not home, I'll take the couch. Oh. Now, see, I had, many years ago, I had one girlfriend that, I like that term. You could qualify as an aggressive sleeper. But in hindsight, Morgan, for me, the relationship didn't end well, so I'm not sure if she was actually an aggressive sleeper or she was just kicking the shit out of me when she was pretending to be asleep. In hindsight, I'm thinking it's the latter, because that relationship didn't work out well. We actually would use buckets of water. Biggest green is because you have to remember, again, I lived out in the country, and we had, at different times, we always had horses. At different times we had bulls that we would raise, had all kinds of different small farm animals. So what I'm saying is there are always buckets around. You always had 5-gallon buckets everywhere. So yes, they would get used too. And you could fill them either from the outside faucet or the creek, because there was a creek that ran right by our house. And you could run down the side of the hill, scoop some water up from the creek, and then ambush people as you came back up with it. So, let's see, Chrome. So, apparently, April 20th release of Shonen Jump is canceled because of Corona. So, no One Piece, Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone till the following week. It's horrific what's going on for all of us. Just having to deal with this absolute tragedy. And again, I'm not going to get into it again because it just pisses me off, but avoidable tragedy. Let's see. No fights because of Corona. Back to eating McDonald's. Yo, Flash says. Not Mr. Miles. Not very well. He says, "How did your generation survive lawn darts?" Jesus Christ, those things were. That was such a stupid fucking idea, and everybody had them. We had them. I'm sure most of you guys know, lawn darts were just giant darts with a nice sharp tip on them, and you would have rings, these plastic rings. You would put them on the ground, however many feet apart. And the darts were color-coded. You'd have, I think it was 3 or 4 for each side. And you'd throw them up in the air and try and make them land and stick inside that ring. You'd be playing this. Now, you got to remember, you're playing this at family outings where all the adults are having way too many beers. And the kids are all running around. So put 2 and 2 together and go to the emergency room. Yeah, Stormstar. Stormstar says, my favorite childhood memory, no COVID-19. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Em. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure my brother hated me when I was younger. We're all having revelations. I just had one about an ex-girlfriend. Prism says, my favorite childhood memory is being happy. Never going to recapture that wonderful feeling. Aw, you don't know that though, Prism. I like to think that no matter how bad things get or have been, there's always the chance for happiness in the future. I hope so. Can hypnosis change a personality trait? That really depends, Arthur. First things that would have to be in place would you would have to honestly and from your core want to change that trait. Then giving hypnotic suggestion to do it could help. Yes. But if it's a personality trait that, it's going to sound weird, but this is true with a lot of people. A personality trait that you think you would be better off without, but is something that's become a part of you and you're not fully engaged in necessarily changing that habit, then no. Because then what happens is you get the hypnotic suggestion, but as soon as the conscious mind takes back over and the subconscious tries to feed it that suggestion, if you don't really want to change that pattern, the conscious mind will veto it. It'll just say, nah, we're not doing that. I like being this way. I've told you guys before, it's like when people have come to me and said, hey, I was wondering if you could do that hypnosis stuff to help me stop smoking. I'll say, well, it's possible, helps a lot of people. Yeah, my wife just keeps bugging me about it, saying I gotta quit, so if it'll shut her up. It's like, well, no, hypnosis doesn't work like that. It can't force you to do shit. You gotta want to do it. It can't be your wife wants you to quit smoking. You have to want to do it, or it's not gonna work. Morgan says, one time when I was a young teen, I volunteered to be shot with a BB gun because I want to know how it felt. My chaotic ass immediately regretted that. Oh, we used to shoot each other all the time, Morgan. We were a little, again, living out in the country, a little bit wild. We all had BB guns. Yeah, and you'd think we'd have been at least smart enough to ask our parents for goggles or something, but we weren't. Yeah, we shoot each other all the time. Well, we did that not too long ago. Brax was probably, what were we, like maybe a sophomore, junior in high school. And a bunch of his friends would get together and play airsoft. And so Brax wanted to get involved too, and he did. And so I went out and we got some airsoft equipment for him and everything. But I said, you know what? Just to make me feel better, so I know that your the clothes that you're going to wear are going to protect you adequately, I had him shoot me with his guns because I wanted to see what they felt like. But of course, I did it at point blank range with no protective gear. So I figured as long as I don't die from that, he'll be okay shooting from long range with... Your mom wasn't real pleased about that one, remember?
I thought it was funny.
He says, I thought it was funny. You weren't even tentative, though.
Yeah.
Because I said, Brax, shoot me with that. Shoot me in the back with that. I want to make sure it's not going to be too much. He's like, Dad, we're gonna be shooting from a long way apart. I said, just shoot me with it. He was like, yep, that fucking hurt, but I survived, so he'll be okay. I'd be like, no, I'm not helping a filthy fucking smoker, non-smoker master race, Johnny Bravocado says. Ultra Luke says, when you were a kid, you probably had metal toy guns that shot wood bullets. You're not too far off from being accurate there, pal. Chrome says, so Spaz kids practice shooting you at point blank. Are you sure giving him a test in this was a good idea for the future? No. Okay, I heard, Milag says, I heard a guy once made Golden drop an ice cream cone. The man gave him some money and said, we're even. 30 years later, Golden married his daughter in disguise, removed the mask, and said, now we are even. Hey, that sounds like Golden. It absolutely does, Milag. Chris, are your balls so wrinkly now they make Morgan Freeman look like a 10-year-old? Morgan Freeman or Morgan Freeman's balls? Because I haven't seen those yet, but I would be willing to look at them. Yellow Flash says, my brother shot me when I was 4. Now I noticed that he really didn't like me. So you're basically in the same place, Yellow Flash, as M is. M's having that epiphany now too. She's like, I don't think my brother did like me. You guys are funny. Well, as long as he doesn't turn out to be like the Otaku killer, he'll be fine, Chrome says. I missed I did. I missed Super Chats. Let me drop down below and pick them up, Gimster. Thank you. Actually, I can't. For some reason, my browser, the last Super Chat that comes up when I look on my list, it always cuts that one off. I have to go to an entirely different page to get it. Oh, okay, yeah, I did miss. Thank you. I thought I had scrolled back up, but I did not. Till the End of Time says, my childhood memories switching blockbuster movies. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's obviously not childhood for me, but that's a fond memory for me, too. We used to have, Brax and I did, we used to have a lot of fun going down to the video rental stores and, finding something cool and different to watch. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Again, not childhood for me, but that fond memory. Gimster says, can hypnosis stop me from being an asshole? If yes, then don't come near me. No, well, I can tell you this, Gimster, is that if you are purely devoted to being an asshole, as am I, then no. Hypnosis cannot stop that. I apologize till the end of time for not seeing that sooner on the blockbuster movies. But yes, as I said, I agree with you 100%. Those were some fun times. We had in our little village here, we had our own little, every little town had somebody open a video rental store, so we had one here. And then one city over, a much larger town, you had a couple places. And then if you went a little further down the line, then you had Blockbuster and the chain ones. And yeah, it used to be fun. Excuse me. Point Perfect says, I still remember giving my principal Evans a nut buster in elementary school. Ow. My dad was super pissed, and I got my ass busted so bad. He even took my Game Boy Color. Oh, that sucks. I would rather, I don't know about you, Point Perfect, but if it were me, I would have rather had the ass beating than having the Game Boy taken. But when you give your principal a nut buster, yeah, your dad was probably within the realm of what would be expected there. Favorite memories, Chris Benoit, WWE. Chill Time says. Milog says, I'll never have any doubt that my 14-year-old brother loved me. He threw his friend out a window with a sheer drop for messing with me. Holy shit. I would say that's love. Yeah, the internet killed the video star. Yeah, Stormstar. You're exactly right. And because, of course, Video Killed the Radio Star was the first video ever played on MTV. But yeah, we'd have to. That should have been the first video played on YouTube. Oh, now see, we've been doing this a lot the last few days in the streams, where you guys know the comments go by quick, so I just try and grab some as they go. I've been grabbing ones that are in the midst of conversations with other people in the stream, and the part that I'm seeing raises some questions, because Jack Queen just said to M, just lie down and open your mouth. I have no idea what I missed prior to this, but I'm a little bit afraid to know. You guys are fun. My biggest screen said, my brother had his copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 taken away when we were kids because he played it too much, and it's gone without a trace, and said, oh, he never got it back? Oh, that sucks. God damn. Oh, that's too bad. Alex says, I remember I was 8, and my teacher asked me if she could go in the headmaster's office, and I said, better ask first. Or you'll get shot, amigo. Arthur says, I had two brothers. They beat on me, but they would destroy anyone else that messed with me. Yeah, I think that's true in a lot of sibling relationships. I think it's very actually very healthy within a sibling relationship. When you live together and you're kids, there's going to be tension, but when you have that camaraderie and that devotion to one another to make sure nobody else does it, yeah, I like that. Ultra Luke says, I tried the double Big Mac and now I have to have a double bypass. Brax just tried it, what was it, 2 days ago, the double Big Mac?
What?
Somebody just tried the double Big Mac.
Oh.
And Ultra Luke just tried it. Now, he ate it, and I think I told you guys, he ate it and he got all done. He says, yeah, it was good, but I'm still hungry. I'm like, oh, jeez. Digga says, mine was Uncle Roy who shared a beer with me. I drank it. I was so excited I fell asleep. When I woke up, my pants were off. I never saw much of Uncle Roy after that. Turns out we weren't even related. Now there's a golden style story for you. I forgot to tell you last time, Curtis, they sell back braces on Amazon for cheap, Seasick Viking says. Well, I'm hoping to get that collar again, though, because I want to get one from that scam caller. I want his back brace. Oh, I remember the Three Tykes recon. Yeah, I remember Three Tykes. Good to see you again. Is a country you went younger as a child and you made good memories for you? I never, Echolorian, I never got to do any traveling really as a kid. The traveling I've gotten to do has been, as I got into adulthood, but even then I still haven't had the opportunity to leave North America. Now, I've been to a vast majority of the United States, but outside of that, I've only been to Canada and Mexico, and it sucks. That jokes from Family Guy. Oh, was it? I didn't even put that back with him. I love Family Guy too. I didn't even put that back with Family Guy. It should have related back there though. My proudest moment as a younger brother was helping them in a scrap, Arthur says, by spearing the old kid kicking my oldest bro. Nice. Yeah, my cousin and I had a lot. I didn't have brothers. I had 2 sisters. My cousin and I had a lot of our own fights because we were almost the same age. We're only a couple months apart. We had our own fights together or against one another, but would always fight for each other. Excuse me. Chrome says I had a big issue with getting sick as a kid. That sucks. Weak immune system warned that I'd ruin my throat if I didn't stop being sick. Not like I was doing it on purpose. Yeah, really. Also, time I nearly died throwing up blood. Jesus Christ, Chrome. That's rough. It sucks whenever anybody gets to that level of illness. Oh shit, of illness. But it really bothers me when it's kids. Kids being sick just it's stuff that stays with me. Childhood memories coming home. My toys were gone. Oh, that's sad. Oh yeah, that's really sad. Mr. What the Fluff is my favorite childhood memory is me accidentally drinking bleach. Jesus Christ. Well, hey, if that's the case, you're fortunate that you're still around to have that as a memory, though. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna pack up the stream for today. Again, just the typical. Got to get my editing done and stuff. And I have some other stuff I have to write for somebody as well. But these streams are always so much fun. Thank you guys for being in these streams with me. I really enjoy these. These pick up my day so much. Tomorrow, again, everything goes well. We'll have another one of these streams. We're only 2 days away from Free For All Friday. Most of these streams are free for alls now. I don't know why. It just seems like we're all more on point with our shared delirium on Fridays than any other days. So I always get jacked up for Free For All Friday. But again, thank you guys for hanging out here with me. Gather around. Everybody gather in. Fucking dog making commentary on me about to do our outro. Shut up. So they're snorting because she knows the sticky stuff's about to start flying. Everybody in. Pampu, sticky stuff. No promises about where it came from, what it might contain floating around in it. Just brave it. You'll be okay. Maybe. Sticky stuff for you. Sticky stuff for everybody. Everybody gather in the sticky stuff. Enjoy it. Moisturize with it. Whatever you like to do with it. Fuck you, Afro Mike. Don't get in the way of my outro. Well, bang. Okay. Flashly like Buggy. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. I will. Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, regardless of what Afro Mike says, goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.